He's on the money. He's good, isn't he? Multimedia rich. Talking to Johnny Doom. How you doing? What hat? So we go lead singers. We just mentioned a couple of bands. TV presenter.
Yes, got my new show.
Radio presenter.
Yeah.
Multimedia entrepreneur.
Yeah. Facebooker.
Father.
Idiot.
Yeah. Family man.
Yeah.
Brummie or Walsall?
Yes, yeah.
Is it Black Country or Brummie?
Bit of both, really.
Both.
Yeah, kind of Walsall, Aldridge kind of way, and then over to the middle of Birmingham. Yeah.
Which property I'm in today? Yeah.
Yeah.
In the back of the van.
But
in the back of the car.
I like to keep busy. Yeah.
Excellent. So you're here working in your Bauer Media capacity.
Yeah, I mean,
Kerrand radio.
yeah, we're quite organised this year. We've got a cabin. We've got a little tent thing. We've got a schedule on the wall, which is good.
Excellent, which everybody ignores, of course.
But yeah, we've been speaking to a fair few bands, getting a bit of audio, getting some filmed stuff as well for the website, and it gives a bit of structure to what we're doing, obviously. And then we can go and party once that's done. About 5-6 o'clock. So it's nice. I get a nice mixture. And you do miss a few bands, obviously, but we get to chat to them, so it's,
Yeah. And are you able to get away from the, how was your set, isn't it rainy sort of stuff?
I don't know. It's hard at festivals because you do fall into generic interviews, are you looking forward to playing later? Are you doing this? Are you stoked to be at Download? But at the same time, once you get them chatting, they'll talk about some other stuff. And you can always talk about the new albums and bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And we've been asking people about Sabbath as well, because obviously Sabbath, this is going to be the last time they're playing Download because they've announced their final tour, an actual final tour. But yeah, it's a good Download. Obviously, yesterday was really hard work. I mean, it always seems to rain now. And it brings people together, but I think, I feel sorry for people sometimes. They deserve a bit more, bit more dry, a bit more sun.
It's early season, isn't it? And you sort of think early, do they ever not consider shifting it? And obviously it's a Live Nation call, and there's lots of international acts
and stuff,
that do Download Paris, and obviously the big bands tie in with Hellfest and Pink Pop and all the others. So it's logistically it's tough, I imagine.
But it seems a bit more stable today anyway, and people will seem a bit happier. So we can keep our fingers crossed. Keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, so what do you think of the big festival market at the moment? There's been lots of talk about who are the next bands coming through that are going to headline it. Who replaces somebody like Black Sabbath and Maiden, who are back again. It was only a couple of years ago that they were here, and before that, Def Leppard played a few times, and everybody's sort of struggling a little bit. Do you think, or?
Yeah, I think things have got definitely. You couldn't say there's masses of bands coming through to main stage or even top level, but there are some, Bring Me the Horizon, definitely. I could see someone like Five Finger Death Punch headlining a main stage, but people have to get behind them and people have to want that as well, But there are bands that are huge and there are bands that can do it, but we need to foster them and give them that space and take a chance and stop playing it so safe, I think. Like you said, same headliners a lot of the time. And that's what I think we should do. I think we should get a band that's done really well and just stick them on there and try and...
Yeah, I think Mr. C, Mr. Copping, he attempts that, and he'll try and work it, and his Friday night slot is his slot where he'll experiment a little bit, and try to get those bands on going there. But yeah, it's a challenge, isn't it? Because you look at who's doing the arena tours now, and it near enough has to be like a mini festival tour for the bands to do it. I know, for example, in my genre, Blackstone Cherry have attempted the shift to arenas. And of course they've changed record labels now, so that may not be the case, but they would take Alter Bridge with them, take Hailstorm, Shinedown even, and they're all main stage acts this year. So, I don't see where the breakthroughs are coming through. You mentioned Five Finger Death Punch, and when people say that, they say, they just need one more killer album to escalate them up another level. And I don't know if these bands have that other level. whether the 5,000 capacity sort of mini arena tour, half arena tour, where they curtain off the back section, is where it is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be touch and go for the rock festival, but you have to remember as well that it's about more than the music. The community want to get together, and you know, they want to show their support for rock and metal in general. You know, the bands make the festival, but at the same time, the people make the festival, chatting, eating together, drinking together. You know, it's the whole experience, isn't it? And I think as long as rock fans want that, they're gonna be able to put on festivals like Downloads, you know. But yeah, I'd be interested to think who's going to be coming through, you know. There will be some. Yeah.
There's bound to be some, and of course we know on the hit list of Mr. C, and that certainly in the Download stakes, he's still got the Van Halens and the Queens, and you know, he brought in Moose last time, and they were on one of his, you know, big killer target lists. So switching genres then, let's go into the medium of radio.
Yeah.
We touched on it a little bit over in a little sidebar. You're talking about how that's changing for you, and of course, you know, Bauer tried to put Kerrand on FM in Birmingham area.
Yep.
And then they went to Planet Rock.
Yep.
Now they've gone to Absolute, and you guys have shifted to the online medium.
Yeah.
You know, is it just the changing nature of how people are consuming their music?
In a way, but Kerrand was an odd one to put on FM because it's got a big history, a big heritage of playing a certain type of music. When they launched Kerrand, it had to be lots of things, you know, to get the license. Yeah. So we played rock, we played indie, we even played bits of hip hop or this, that, the other. Tried to make this giant radio station, and the figures were really, really good. It was the fastest growing station. We pretty much had 1.4 million listeners across the board, but you know, it kind of reached limitations, and media companies don't want that. They want as many people as possible. I think Planet Rock have done a great job as well. They've kind of looked after the older rock fans a bit more, and they've had really good figures. But yeah, I mean, I can't control what these media companies do. I'd still like to be on FM. I'd still like to have, you know, that kind of output. But at the moment, I'm just glad Kerrand's still there. Lots of people are listening online. Younger people are finding us. A lot of people are downloading apps to their phone to listen to the radio. Yeah. So it's a change in medium. You've just got to make sure the content's good, and that I think the hardest bit is advertising yourself, letting people know Kerrand's still there, that they can find it, Freeview, they can find it on DAB in London, they can find it on the internet, download the app. The hardest bit is telling people that they can do that, but it's all still there, and there's no shortage of music or new music. I've got so much new music that I have to limit the amount I put on, you know. So yeah, so in some ways it's a shame that things have been downgraded or changed in some ways, but again, it's up to the fans if they support the stations and the bands.
As I say, as you're talking about, you know, the younger people downloading the app, and as bandwidth becomes bundled, and there are no limitations to what you get on Wi-Fi and things like that, and 4G, all of a sudden nobody's worried about their data of 500 meg they used to have.
There is that. There's a lot of modernisation, but you do find as well, radio's this weird thing. It's got a lot of tradition of listening in the car or listening actually to a radio. You know, people are still stuck in that. They like it. They like the kind of heritage of radio. So some of the older people like listening traditionally, how they have always listened to radio. But yeah, younger people, definitely more tech savvy. You can offer them different things, podcasts, this, that, the other. So yeah, you know, I embrace.
Quite agile, don't you?
Yeah, I embrace new technology, but I also understand some people, you know.
The old school stuff.
Yeah, like the old school.
The old school stuff. Yeah, the radio, the old school stuff. Very weird, isn't it? And of course, there's something happened. What was it? Top Gear's just revamped. Chris Evans has had it, and he was talking about how many listeners now do it on iPlayer.
Yeah.
So the initial viewing figures were like 2 million, and everybody was going, "Oh, Top Gear's dead." And then it came out a week later, it was 9 million after the the iPlayer, and people consuming asynchronously, I suppose, out of sync. So the live broadcast of you sitting in a studio, broadcasting live, playing the tracks live, you know that your actual listenership is coming later on, and that's quite surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, but there's nothing you can do about that, really. You know,
do you have to temper how you approach your shows based on the fact that people are no longer listening when you're actually broadcasting them?
No, not really, because I think rock fans are different anyway. They like you to talk about music. The focus is music. They don't want you necessarily just being silly or irreverent all the time. They want to know about the bands when the albums are coming out. You know, we're a bit geeky, us rock fans. You know, we like to talk about the actual sound and what it is. So I generally try, when I'm on radio, just being myself and chatting about the music and you know, making it irreverent and a bit light. But that's what people want. They want to know when the albums are coming out. And, you know, it's all about the music for rock fans, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
It is. And then you've linked up with local community TV.
Yeah.
Produced a show called Amped.
Yeah.
And that's going pretty good. That's sort of circa to the Midlands, the West Midlands.
Yeah,
What's the reach of that?
it's a small local station, but it has got reach throughout the Midlands. It's on Freeview. It's Freeview Channel 7. It's Virgin as well, 159. And it's kind of very community based, but it's got music shows, games shows on there, news, and all the usual things that television channels have. But they gave me the opportunity to do a show, and I just do a kind of half an hour rock show, which gets shown 3 times a week, and I do it with a little nod to some of the TV that I grew up with, like Headbangers Ball and things like that, and early MTV. So it's just a bit of rock news, it's some new videos, gig guide, and then I have bands on to chat to in the second half. You know, I can get some nice underground bands on as well.
Yeah.
You know.
And you can therefore help those bands break through that don't get the media attention of the larger guys that we see at an event like this.
Well, everything helps, you know, everything helps. And I think, you know, for me, it's just fun to be able to do a bit of TV. You know, it's new to me. I've done radio, but I haven't really done TV, and it's nice doing stuff against a green screen and all that. And, you know, so it's fun for me, and hopefully people are just enjoying the show for what it is, you know. But yeah, you know, Big Centre TV, definitely check it out if you're in the Midlands, and you can check it out online as well at bigcentre.tv. All the shows are on there, and just have a look. Yeah,
cool. Does it give you a flavour of wanting to do something a bit more in that area?
I don't know really, because I'm one of these weird people who just ambles through. You know, I've been doing Kerrand for 12 years, and that just seems to carry on. And you know, they renew my contract every year, and like what I do. And then Amped is just a nice little opportunity. I get out and do DJing and comparing at festivals and bits and bobs, and do some bands as well myself. So yeah, I just like to keep it eclectic and keep different things going. And hopefully I can carry on doing that. Yeah. Hopefully I can carry on doing it for a few more years, really.
Yeah. See how we get on, eh?
Yeah.
See how it goes. We'll amble on.
Yeah, exactly.
Just stumble into it. Good stuff, Johnny.
Nice one.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you soon.